welcome to another Expert Exchange. I am so excited about today's guest. I've got the gorgeous Nicola Kinnard-Comedie. Have I said that correctly,
You
Nicola?
have said that right, yeah.
We met each other at the Animal Chiropractic and Rehabilitation Conference for which McTimoney ran in June, and it was like proper like energy match. Like it was so wonderful to meet you, Nicola. So please introduce yourself to the audience and tell us who you are, what you do, and then we'll get into today.
Oh, well, thank you so much, Elizabeth. It was absolute pleasure to meet you at the conference. And it's always great to meet somebody who is just as enthusiastic about business. So big thanks for having me here. Well, hello to all your lovely listeners. My name is Nicola Kinnard-Comedie, and I am the founder and director of NKC Equestrian Training, which is a coaching and training company. We help equine and canine practitioners all around the world building a really strong mindset and with business strategies so they can become fully booked, so they can build a business that actually suits their life, not just a business that they think they should have and then they're just exhausted. And we also provide lots of CPD and further education for equine therapists as well. So that is me. I love making business super fun and I love having lots of freedom to do what I fancy in my life because that's why I have a business, not a job.
Yeah.
And I love helping other people to have a business that gives them a similar amount of freedom because that's really where the sweet spot is for me.
Yeah, Nicola ran an amazing mindset workshop at the conference as well. Um, you know, re-navigating like past things that happened and can we like zoom out and it's because it's a big old brain game, isn't it?
Oh, business
Business.
is a brain game. It really is, and it's so funny. Like you come, for me personally, came into running this business, which I set up almost 10 years ago. I've run my own business before. I've worked in corporate sales. I've spent my whole life in the horsey world. I just thought if you did more, you'd get more. Turns out it's not as simple as that. What you actually believe and how you feel has such a huge impact on the success of your business. And it's, to me, it's the missing link. It's the missing link. The mindset, the energy, the identity is the missing piece between wishing and hoping and implementing things and then seeing actually the results that you want.
So we were just chatting before the call, which I normally always record the pre-chat because I literally said I always record because we get gold and yeah, we've done it this time again. So we were just saying about core values. So like core
Yeah.
values is a big thing that I teach and I've always been raised. Actually, I was like 16 when I joined Pets at Home and they had the core values as a business and like think what you will of them as a corporate business, but like from like a business strategy, structure and like core values and living to those values, like I actually learned so much. Like I was given an amazing introduction and we were just talking about stepping away from things or deselecting certain things if they don't match your core values because it just
Mhm.
drains you, right? It's
100%, yeah. You hear the word integrity all the time. And I always think, I never really understand that word. Like, what does that even mean? I think you've just summarized it really beautifully. That if you're trying to do something that doesn't match who you are, what you believe is right, what you believe is wrong, what you believe is fair, and it doesn't match the life that you want, it's it's not gonna land well. You're gonna butt up against it. And deselection is another really powerful word because when you start changing yourself, because you will, as you change your business, as you work on your business, you will become a different person. In the same way that I don't know if you wanted to become a more successful event rider, or you wanted to go and do I don't know better results in dog showing or dog agility, anything. You would become a different person as you pursued whatever that dream was. And not everybody will like that. Let's talk about deselection in like relationships because you will have friends that won't come on the journey with you. Have you experienced that yourself personally, Elizabeth?
yeah, I have, and it's interesting because I left the UK in 2014, and I was Lizzie. So my full name's Elizabeth, and I was Lizzie when I left. And whilst I was out there, I was in sales, and Aussies like to shorten everything. So they
Yes.
shorten everything to Liz, and I'm like, I cannot stand Liz. Like, please, like, if you're gonna call me anything, just don't call me Liz. Like, I don't know why it grinds my gears. I'm not a 100-year-old granny.
I'm
Like, that's
not a
just not my name.
Nikki. I'm not a
Yeah,
Nikki. I get it.
nice.
I'm a Nicola or I'm a Nick.
Yes,
There's nothing else. No middle.
yes.
I get it.
So while I was out there, I actually changed my name to Elle because I'd always wanted to be Elle. I wanted to be
I
Elle
love
with
Elle.
purple in the bottom of my hair. Like
I
it was like a
love
whole thing.
Elle. Yeah.
And like fully like Elle Woods.
Yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah. That's just who I was thinking of.
yeah, that's it. And so I got really into personal development while I was out there. So I learned all of my marketing and sales, even though I once I learned it, I realized I'd been doing it in my dog grooming
Yeah.
salon all along before I went out there.
Yeah.
Um, so I like changed my like I literally changed myself like because it's
Yeah.
like I left as Lizzie
I
and then
love
came back
that.
2019 as
Yeah.
Elle, who's this
Yeah.
like strong independent businesswoman, and people would call me Lizzie and I'm like, ew. Like
Yeah.
she was such a little girl.
Lizzie
It's fully
died.
like yeah, it's like a full identity shed. And it was
Yeah.
so I've got a wonderful family, really supportive, and I literally said to my mum, like, well, if you can't not call me Lizzie, then you can call me Elizabeth because that's the name you gave me at
Yeah.
birth. So now she still calls me Elizabeth.
Yeah.
My sister, bless her cottons, um, she is very, um, she's really an advocate for like transgender and like all of
Yeah.
those issues. So I said to her when she couldn't get on board with Elle instead of Lizzie, I was like, well, if I came home and told you my name was Ben, you would have
Yes.
accepted it, wouldn't
Yeah.
you? And she was like,
Yeah.
oh, so that
Yeah.
really landed for her. So yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, times in my life where, I've disappeared, come back
I
as a new
love that. I mean,
person.
that's like identity work on steroids. I'm going to call you Elle now. Like, I love that. But that's super cool because identity work, we know it works, but rather than like, I don't know, changing like the wallpaper in your office or something, changing your name is so much more powerful. But I bet that really helped. That shedding, that deselection, that's what's, must have really got you to here.
Yeah. Well, what about you though? This interview is about you. I want to hear
Yeah.
your
Oh
gold.
my gosh. So I think it's been really interesting. And I have to say, to be totally honest, it's been really painful as well at times where you start being more visible, you start being I've always been confident, but I think I just suddenly had a lot of direction, purpose. I was like, oh my God, I've got this like massive global mission, gonna help like millions of horses. I'm not gonna do this anymore, I'm gonna do this. And a lot of people were like, what? The actual and I was like, yeah, it's gonna be so amazing. I've got literally no plan, but I'm gonna do this. And some people were just like, she's just lost her mind. And I think many of my great friends have known my enthusiasm for life is very high, and I think they've also gone along with lots of other exciting projects over the years. But for one particular friend, who's been my closest friend since we were really quite young, she did not like a more successful version of me.
Mm,
Yeah, it says
interesting.
more about the other person than it does about you. But gosh,
Yeah.
that can sting. It really can. And then I realised a little time later that I'd always been like her friend who was always like slightly struggling, having a nice time, always up for fun, but like she had like a very successful corporate job. And I was like always like, I don't know, not trying to catch up, but like I was just always doing something different. And I
Yeah.
didn't quite fit in her corporate ladder in the same way that she did. And then suddenly I'm like, oh no, I got business now. And I think she didn't like it because she was the successful one out of the partnership. So
Ah,
it's something that I have to say, when I started a business, I had no idea that not everybody would get it and that not everybody would love it. And I think it's really great to talk about this actually, because it's something that can really sting people because that feels hard, doesn't it? But actually, people closest to you can say the most cutting things, often with love,
yeah.
but it can be really, really painful when someone says, "Oh my gosh, what are you doing? People will pay for that. Are you out of your mind?" And I'm sure everybody listening has had well-meaning little comments like family
So you
get-togethers,
get to cuddle
Christmas.
dogs all day.
Yeah, oh, is that lovely? You just stroke ponies for a living. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, is it like a spa day? No. And that, that must be that, it's hard. It's cutting. But I think when you can think of it as deselection and
Mm,
that where you're going, not everything will align. And I always bring this back to like to me, a really tangible example is if you were preparing for, I don't know, badminton horse trials or some, big competitive goal that probably most people can, understand and get their head around. If you were going to badminton horse trials, even if you were several years off, I don't know, if you had a group of friends that like to spend a Sunday afternoon in a pub garden, that you might have loved to do that, but you're focused over here. That's not going to align. And that becomes a deselection. So I think when you can see it as a huge positive, you make new choices to support where you're going. And not everybody's coming on that journey. So yeah, deselection is a great term, I think, to bring up and discuss. And it goes back to what we were saying about values, doesn't it? Like when you stay true to your personal values and also the values of where you want to go. Because I bet we've all got that friend, oh, I'm so tired, it's so hard, oh, money, blah, blah, blah. And quite often we hang out with people that are like us, of course. So, people listening probably have friends who are also practitioners of some description, who also run their own business.
mm.
We've all got a negative Nelly. In fact, I don't actually anymore have a negative Nelly friend.
It's funny. No, I don't
They've
either.
been deselected. But I bet for some of your listeners, they have. And there's that friend that is just, oh gosh, isn't it hard? And oh, I can't put my prices up. Oh, isn't it hard getting clients? And that doesn't align. If you're on a growth curve, if you're said, right, I'm going over here, I'm getting my business is going to do X, Y, and Z, that doesn't that friend and those conversations, they no longer align with the values of where you're going. And I think when you having that awareness is obviously really key, but also feeling empowered to either say to your negative Nelly, do you know what? Let's talk about something else because this
Yeah.
is not aligning with what I'm doing. Would be really helpful for people.
Yeah, and there's this like analogy I remember being taught by a coach where it's like the balloon effect. So like as you're doing personal development, as you're growing, as you're growing your business, like again, lots of the people that we both look after spent a long time studying to be able to do the
Yeah.
thing that they can do for animals, which is going to absolutely serve and look after those animals so well. But now they're in business and they have to get bigger to attract those clients and to
Mhm.
get it in. So this balloon's expanding, expanding, and those people that are saying those little jibey comments, they're just trying to put a little pin pricks in your
Mm.
balloon to deflate it to bring you back to them because you're
Yeah.
raising yourself up, you're raising
Yeah.
your standards. And what I love about Nicola and why I think our we had a little like a soul connection, and so
Oh,
he's
we
like,
did.
we did. We're just trying to raise the standard of the industry as a whole,
Oh
aren't
my
we?
God, I feel I'm going to cry. Yes, just trying to help more animals and help more people to live their best life. I'm literally going to cry. Like it's so true. And
Yeah.
I think it's probably a really great moment to talk about competition and
Mm.
collaboration because I could have been like, ha, she is a business coach for animal practitioners. Bitch, I'm not talking to her. She does the same thing. Whereas I literally skipped over, like I was coming towards you, you're coming towards me, kind of like met in the middle. Oh, so fun. Because we're both like, oh my gosh, you do that, I do that. Is it like let's celebrate this? Let's have we had a big hug and it
Yeah.
was so cool because we were both super excited that we both get to help people. We're on each other's podcasts. We can help more people that way. We'll definitely do something else cool. Where we can help even more people. But why does everybody think like that?
Yeah. See, I don't believe in competition. Particularly in the animal world, because more and more people, lockdown was a great example of it. The animal industry grew like,
Mm.
I don't know the stats, I'm not going to put out fake stats there,
Lots.
massively, because people
Yeah.
then got dogs, and those
Yeah.
dogs now need behavior trainers,
Yeah.
and they need groomers, they need, their spines to be looked after by McTimoney practitioners.
Yeah.
There is more than enough. animals out there for us to look after them in our area. So like
Yeah.
let's just showcase how amazing we are at what we do with our service and either not worry about the others or help support others in other ways because
Yeah.
the amount of different conversations and I know we said this together at the conference as well like I work with two different people that do the same thing. And like one's like, oh, I love working with really elderly Labradors, that's owned by elderly owners. The other one's like, oh, I love working with agility dogs that are like full of
Yeah.
energy. So it's like we've all, each one of us, even if we're qualified in the exact same thing, like different dogs, different horses speak to us.
Everybody is so different. Exactly. Like I say something similar that, you may have the same modality, the same piece of paper, but
Mm,
just your personality, your energy, your values, your standards,
mm,
just how you operate means that you'll have taken that modality. And I'm not saying you're not doing it right, but you will have a different way of working.
mm,
You will have a different initial assessment. Things will be slightly different
yeah,
just in your everyday working. Even if you had exactly the same type of clients, they'd have a different experience, not better or worse, but just different. And as you said, everyone's ideal clients are a different match. And I think when you can market your services on why you, not
mm,
just I do X, it's so different. And you're right, there's just so many animals out there that need more support. And when there's more people saying, oh yeah, I can help your animal, it just means more owners, that message gets through to owners that like canine massage is a thing,
yeah.
that they could actually, I don't know, their elderly dog doesn't have to feel uncomfortable. It can age gracefully and it can age really, really well. And I just think, isn't that great that that message is getting out there?
And that's our purpose within the industry is actually the more that we love on each other and showcase
Mm.
our skills with love, which is why we all did it, because we all love
Yeah,
animals, like
yeah,
rather than worry about this person down the road, because you can look, very easy to look sideways and go, oh, like she's doing so well, but it's like she's 8 years in. Like her business
yeah.
is a spinning cog like this. Your business, you're trying to move that cog, that first little
Mm,
bit you can't compare that to that. Like that's
mm. Totally, and that cog analogy is great. And if you think of like several cogs, that more established business, it's got this bit and this bit, and they're all interconnected and all whirling around together. One of my clients put this really well about competition. She has one of the biggest massage schools in America, in North America, probably the biggest actually. And she's been training people for over 20 years. She's been a practitioner for 40 years. And she said, when I started, people just thought I was like, this was crazy. Like, what was animal massage? Like, this was mad. And she said, now there's so many training schools. And she said, I celebrate that. She said, that's why I asked for more people to know about this. I asked for more owners to understand what this was so that I could train people so they could help more animals. And I just celebrate the fact that there's not millions, but there's lots and lots of training providers now because it means more animals get helped. And I was like, wow, like that is such a powerful way. Because somebody else could be like, this is a disaster. How are we going to steal all those students? Other people are taking our business.
yeah,
And she just continues to grow and rise. And I think that attitude is a huge part of it.
yeah, for sure. And yeah, new people are getting qualified all the time, and they might do better at marketing because they're being authentically themselves rather than
Mm,
worrying about, all of this other stuff. So it's yeah,
mm,
focus in on you and your ability
mm.
and help grow. Like I see loneliness as a big thing
Oh, you're
in my
so right.
clients. Yeah.
Yeah, you're
Because we
so
all
right.
qualified to look after animals, and then suddenly we're in business on our own. So actually, by being connected and being in communities where
Mm,
we lift each other up, it's
mm.
going to keep more people in the industry too, isn't it?
Yeah, 100%. And I think when you can step into just loving other practitioners in your area and out of that fear and that scarcity, it can take away your loneliness, it can take away someone else's loneliness. And also, you just never know when you might want to lean on somebody else or they may need your support. People have maternity leaves, people have injuries. People get really busy for a couple of weeks and they may just need somebody else to support them, or you may need somebody else to support you in your business. And how lovely when you can just have a really great relationship with other therapists.
Yeah, it's great. And also, what would be your recommendation if someone has put, um, their care for an animal out on social media and they are getting lots of good comments, but the bad comments? What would you say for people that are in that type of situation?
Oh, that's an interesting question. Do you know what? I think for my own clients, it's not something I get people
Okay.
reporting that they've had lots of negativity. It's happened to me, I think probably once, which is pretty good, for all these years on all those posts. I think firstly, it depends on what the kind of negative comments were. So I don't know, just say like we've just had a hot spell, hot weather, and everyone's got an opinion on the best way to cool down an animal and should you do this and should you do that. So I think if you put out some sort of factual information and then someone's like, oh, you shouldn't do this, you shouldn't do that. I think it's really great to just respond and be like, well, actually, according to this or whatever information source you've got, this is the way that we now do it. I think when you can rise above and take the personal out, because you can read a negative comment and take it as, oh, I'm not enough, I'm not good enough, that person thinks I'm shit, da da da, or my clients are going to read it, they're all going to leave. Like, our brain does love to make a drama and a disaster out of everything. Or, because we do have a choice, and that is important to remember, or you could read, let's just say, I don't know, you said something about cooling and someone said, oh no, you should do it like this. You could read it as, oh my gosh, I get to actually help this person because that was what we did 10 years ago, 5 years
Yeah,
ago. But
yeah,
now we do now. And actually, aren't I lucky that I get to have this educational platform? I think social media is like you get given a stage
yeah.
for free. Like, how lucky are we? You get to help people just by typing a bit on your phone and putting a picture. Like, and all the people, oh, the algorithm's against me. I'm just like, no, no, if we could swap that around, we're super lucky. So that would be my thoughts on responding to negativity. Why is it? And if it's somebody going, oh, I don't know, you've you've made my dog do this and it wasn't like that before, then that is not a conversation you want to be having the ins and outs discussed on social media. And
Yeah.
that's where having procedures and having plans in place in your business is super helpful because you're like, I know what to do if this happens.
Yeah.
Then you can do, but I think again, it's really important to publicly respond as, oh, hi Becky, we've already emailed about you about this, and that's where we're going to be keeping this conversation. So, thanks for raising it here, but actually we're going to be chatting about it over there. Owning it and not being scared, I think, is absolutely critical.
Yeah, I've got a massive smile. I feel like we've got this like brain power. So one of my clients has, yeah, literally it was a heat thing. So that's
Mm,
funny that you've even grabbed that. So she suddenly had a huge influx of followers on social media because her elderly dog got out on the hottest day and she had to call it really quickly and she filmed it because she was like, my dog's in heat stress. This is the process I'm going through so I can help someone else.
mm,
And like, yeah, 90% of the comments were, oh my God, like that's so scary for you. Like, thank you for sharing this. Some were not nice comments, but
mm,
she did that exact thing. She commented to everyone and was
yeah,
like, please look at the guidelines and this is what we're
mm,
doing and this is why I'm educating.
yeah,
And she's had people now reach out to her and say like, Carl, like the way that you responded, like she responded as a professional
yeah, with
with
authority.
love
Yeah,
and
yeah,
it just helps showcase you. So there's this whole thought process. It's like as you grow, you're going to grow all of it. So that's the good
yes,
and the bad. So actually
yes.
celebrate the bad. If you've got your first negative comment, like
Yes.
pop the champagne. Like you're
Oh,
growing, you're winning
100%.
because
Yeah, definitely. It's
oh
like people saying no to you.
mm,
You will hear no in business all the time. Get excited about it. Get prepared for it. If you aren't hearing no, it means you're not asking, and you're never going to hear a yes. And I always think the no's, it's like a clear out, isn't it? All the no's come through. Fabulous. No, great, lovely. You can go in the maybe later pile. It makes space for the people that want your help, that want to say yes. And like that example of your client. There'll be people that have watched her content, that have sat on the fence, been like, oh yeah, maybe I should get so and so out. Now they'll be like, whoa, she knows what she's doing. And
Yeah,
that can be that real like nudge to get someone to actually take action. So good for her. I love
yeah, it's so
that.
exciting. It's
Yeah.
great, and it's again, it's that heart and love. It's like she's in a really tough, like place because it's her
Mm.
baby that's going through this, and yet she still wants to educate and share and look
Mm.
after the community that she's in. So it's beautiful, isn't it, what we can do?
Mm. Oh, you're right. And all with just a smartphone.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
everyone's got one. Like we
always.
can just help people every day by just sometimes you might just share something super simple. And I think that what your audience that what they take knowledge they take for granted is what I'm trying to say could change an owner's life. You could just literally write two sentences, you know it. Yeah, it's obvious to you. It is not obvious to the people that need your support that you would potentially like to work with in the future. And you can really shift someone's day. You're like, we've all had that. You're scrolling, you see something, and you're like, oh yeah, oh I didn't know that. Oh, I could feel like this today. It can have a huge impact. And I think social media is a powerful tool for positive, for change, but also it has its negative side. A bit like you're saying, there's the dark, there's the light of everything.
Yeah.
Um,
You
and
can
it's
unfollow the darkness on Facebook
yeah,
on socials.
yeah,
If you don't
definitely.
like it, tell the algorithm I don't like this. Don't give me
Yeah,
more of this content.
yeah, and also like set up yourself for success. If you know that you're likely to scroll, delete the app after you've done your posting. Set up designated scrolling time and have a timer because how many people go to do a business task and then they're still scrolling an hour and a half later? Just because you logged in with your business profile doesn't actually mean that's working. So yeah, I think you can set yourself up for success, and social is a really powerful tool.
It is. This has been a wonderful little dance. I always ask everyone at the end of our interviews, like, what would be your top three tips? If you're running a business right now, like, what would you say are your top three tips that you like to share with your clients?
Oh, well, I'm both happy and sad you've given me a limit of three because I could have done like 33, but whittling it down, I think my top one, and this may feel a little bit harsh, but when you get the second one, it'll feel a bit better, is taking personal responsibility.
Yes.
Nobody is coming to save you just because you've qualified. It doesn't matter if you spent X number of years, you've got more letters after your name than you can shake a stick at. That doesn't mean you're going to have an influx of clients, and no one is coming to rescue you. And I say this with love because that can sound a bit harsh, but it's true. The success of your business is down to you,
Mm.
and you have to take responsibility. You can work with an amazing coach, you can join a program, you can do, I don't know, 20 meditations a day, but you've also got to take action. You've got to implement things. So, personal responsibility, out of that victim mode and into doing something about it, I think is one. Number two, mindset and identity upgrades. Like we've spoken, like I loved your story about literally the name change as an identity change, but you can't you can't have whatever business goal you want or business success without shifting yourself, and you've got to be willing to put in the work on you. And you're going to have to we've talked lots about deselection, but there may be things that behaviors that do no longer align. It may be environmental upgrades, but to me, that's the fast track route to the strategy working, is shifting and working on you, and making sure that you become the person that can hold that whatever that goal is. Because else someone can come to you and say, right, I want 50 more clients, or I want X, Y, and Z, but they've also got to feel able to implement whatever you tell them to do and to become that person that can hold that level of success. Otherwise, it is like pushing water up a hill. So, personal responsibility, mindset, and identity upgrades. And then my third tip is what I am calling the 100 reps rule. We probably both see this. where somebody will implement something, and social media is a great example. We don't give it long enough.
Mm.
And I've probably been guilty of this. So the 100 reps rule is that whatever you're going to pick, because all strategy works. That's the interesting thing. Everything that you could do to promote your business, it all works on some level. Some things work more successfully for some people, some things work faster, some things work more slowly, but everything does work. But you've got to try it 100 times before you can decide if that does or it doesn't work. So the person that goes, social media is bloody rubbish, doesn't work for me. I dropped 2 business cards off with the vets. They've never referred me clients. That's the opposite of the 100 reps rule. So
Yeah.
that would be my final one is the 100 reps rule.
I love that. And it ties in so well, with the Fetch More Clients kind of teachings. It's a 6-week multifaceted approach. Like people seeing you once. Like it used to be 7 times, 7 contacts before people
Not
remembered you and
anymore.
took action. Now it's more like 12 to 24 because
Mm.
we're also bombarded about everything all day, every day. I
Yeah,
mean, your
yeah,
clients are, you think you're busy, so are your clients. So like how do we
yeah.
get in front of them in a way that makes it authentic? And I think what we are so blessed to look after them for is actually in this world of AI and where everything's getting faster, like I actually think hands-on care for animals like is that one thing that's not going to get replaced.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, you're not gonna have an AI physio appointment or a chiropractic appointment. Yeah. And AI is such a cool thing that can help people who are running a small business or a medium business or a business that is growing rapidly. But yeah, your work is safe, I feel,
Mm.
from AI.
Yeah. Oh, well, yes, Nicola and I will definitely be bringing something to you soon. So keep your eyes and ears peeled.
We will.
Thank you so much for jumping on our exchange. I could talk to you for hours, but we try to keep these wrapped up into 40 minutes, so they're lovely and bite-sized. But we'll have you back again soon.
Oh, thank you so much. And yeah, big hello to everybody listening. It's been a pleasure to be on today.
And of course, if you love Nicola, like I do, and want to find out more, where do they need to go?
So head over to the website, nkcequestrian.com, and Instagram is also a great place to find us, which is NKC Business Coaching.
Fantastic. Thank you so much.
Pleasure.